for joining me with the Art Sphere today. We are going to be doing an art form from the country of India known as Rangoli. And Rangoli is actually just a bunch of colorful designs that are usually made from rice flour or sugar or chalk or other ingredients, and they're used to decorate the entryway of people's homes during festivals like Diwali. And so we will be doing that using salt and some food dye. So obviously what you'll need is your salt and your food dye, and then a pencil to draw your design, and then a piece of paper. And I have a thicker one just because we're going to be putting glue on it, but whatever you have is fine. And then you will need some bowls. So I will only be using 2 colors for this one just to make it a little bit easier, but you guys can use as many bowls as you want, as many colors. You just need a bowl for each color. And then you're gonna need some liquid glue and then just a spoon to mix. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start out by putting some salt into your bowl. So I'm not measuring this out, but I am just filling up the bottom, so the bottom is covered by a pretty good layer of salt. Okay, and then I'm gonna choose the colors that I want. So I think I'm gonna do blue and red because you can also combine to make purple if I want, and I'm just gonna put 2 or 3 dots in each one. Okay, then I'm gonna take my spoon, I'm just gonna mix that up together. You may notice that it might clump up a little bit depending on the kind of food dye that you have. So just make sure you break up those clumps with your spoon and it will mix eventually. So now we have the red one. I'm just gonna let that sit and dry out a little bit once I have it all mixed up. I'm gonna set that to the side, and then I'm gonna mix the blue one, which also clumped up a little bit. But we're just gonna break up those clumps with a spoon and it will be fine. All right, so the designs that are usually used are more like mandala flower like designs. And so we do have handouts of these on our ASI website if you want to print one out of those and trace one of those with glue. And if not, you can do your own. You can always look one up as a reference online, which is what I'm gonna be doing. So I will be looking at a picture that I have pulled up and drawing my design from that. So you can follow along with me, or you can create your own, or you can do one off of our meditative and mindfulness designs that we have on our website. So the first thing I am going to do for mine is start with a little flower-like design. So I'm gonna do 4 petals. All right, so I started off with my 4 petals right here in the middle. And then I'm just gonna do 2 diamond shapes or squares that are sideways. So I have my 2 diamonds right here. And I'm just gonna do that on each side. So at the bottom and the 2 sides that I haven't done yet. And their designs are very symmetrical often, which means that they're the same if you fold it in half. And you can use a lot of flowery designs or geometric shape-like designs. All right, so I have my design right here. I'm gonna keep going and just add 2 bigger lines. So I drew 2 diagonal lines right here, and then I'm going to turn that into an arrow. So I drew 2 more lines connecting here and 2 going in. So now it's an arrow, and I'm just gonna do that for each of them, for each section. All right, and then I have my design right here, and I might want to make it a little bit bigger and add some more flowers or some swirls on it. So I think going off of the reference, I'm just gonna add some little swirls here and there. Alright, so I've added my own version of swirls, and then I can do maybe like dots around it. And so now I'm going completely off without a reference. So this is what you guys can do, is just add your own kind of design that you want. It doesn't have to look super good because we are just doing this for fun. Just to experiment with another medium of art and another creative outlet that you guys can do at home. Alright, so now that I have my circles drawn, my swirls, very abstract, we are going to take our liquid glue and we are just going to trace it. So what you might want to do first is to decide what color you want each part to be and trace that with glue first, so you can do one color at a time. So I'm going to do these first ones blue, so I trace the flower and I trace the little arrows around with blue. I'm just going to pour my salt onto here. And I want to make sure it's completely covered. And then, if I think it is, I can shake it around like this. Cover it completely. Shake off the excess. So we have our blue part. And then I will be doing more blue later, but we're gonna keep going with our design and do some maybe red squares. Alright, and if you have smaller designs, it might come out a little bit messier because the glue is gonna run all over the place, but that's okay because we're just practicing trying things out right now. Again, you want to make sure that you're covering all the glue with your salt. Alright, and again, we're just going to take that and shake the excess off because we don't want to waste. Alright, so now I have my dots and my, the squares I drew, which now kind of just look like triangles or big diamonds, which is completely okay. And lastly, we are going to do our swirl. This one, maybe I will mix my last two colors together to make purple. Alright, and then we'll do some purple swirls on that. So again, normally these are either done at the entryways of people's houses, usually on sand or the dirt. And they're very, very detailed in the design. So, alright, so here's my final design that I have done. As you can see, it's not completely symmetrical, but it was more to practice using salt and elements and creating your own Rangoli, again, which is used often in their festivals of light like Diwali and other festivals. But you guys can do your own designs, your own patterns, your own pictures. You can also just draw something else, like just a normal flower or a scene or a picture from something that you like, and you can practice using glue and salt with that. And so I hope you guys were able to experiment with this, and if you enjoyed it, please hashtag us at Love Artsphere Inc. or email us at info@artsphere.org, and we would love to see your Rangolis and what you guys are learning. So thank you again, and I hope you have an awesome day.